Gotta show that low. Y'all want to do a video where I'm just discussing the state of hood dudes with money. Hood dudes that get money. Hood dudes that end up with some money. It's a crazy study, man, because like recently I watched a video that Gilly the Kid on Instagram, Gilly the Kid did, where he says something like on the lines of yo man, you ain't never gonna get no money with these ends. You heard, these ends, you know, they just gonna hit you up and tell you they like what you doing and they see what you doing and we gonna work something out. And basically what he was trying to get at was, you know, your own kind, they ain't never really gonna put no bag in your hand, bro. And it's like, you know, the first thing people gonna say is, yo, but you shouldn't be expecting nobody else to put no bag in your hand. But the reality is, bro, is no man is an island. You feel what I'm saying? No one man is an island, my bro. You understand what I'm saying? And in order for anybody to make it to the level they really need to make it to, they gonna need some assistance, some help, and all of that, right? But I'm just dealing with the science of dudes from the hood like me and you that get our hands on some money and how we act when we get our hands on some money. Now, I am not 100% innocent in this equation. You feel what I'm saying? Because when I'm talking about how dudes act when they get some money, I don't just mean dudes acting funny or dudes forgetting where they came from or dudes not looking out for their peoples. I'm not really just talking about that one thing. I'm talking about the type of stuff we buy, the type of things we invest our money into. Because let's be real, bro. You know, one thing we don't really have in the hood, like, of course, the hood always breeds a few bona fide hustlers. You know what I mean? But a lot of us in the hood, we ain't never really have no financial education. We ain't have no education on money and how money works and how money can work for you and how credit works and taxes. And these is things that the places that we come from is too much shit going on to even care about these things. You feel what I'm saying? It's like, you know, me personally, I grew up poor. You feel me? I grew up with a mother on welfare. My mom's worked and had a job for mad years afterwards, but we started out, my mom's done had jobs, not had jobs, had to be on welfare. You feel me? We done seen every side of the spectrum. You feel me? So I know me personally growing up, even when my mom's had jobs and, you know, I was the kid in the projects, I was the only kid. So, you know, I had a couple of extra pair of sneakers than the average dude, or I had a couple of more toys than the average dude in Howard Projects in Brownsville. But at the end of the day, I was still poor. And, you know, we was living in one of the poorest neighborhoods in the world, Brownsville, Brooklyn. You feel what I'm saying? So I might have had a Transformer or a G.I. Joe or two that the average kid ain't have in my projects, but we still was poor, bro. Now, I mean, food stamps, welfare checks, energy checks, you name it, we was poor. You feel what I'm saying? And it was Christmases where, you know, we ain't had no gifts. You understand what I'm saying? It was nights where we ain't had nothing to eat for dinner. You feel what I'm saying? My moms had to go borrow 2 cash to go buy some motherfucking chicken backs. You feel me? And make some rice and chicken backs. It's been a lot of times where money was so tight in the crib, we was eating motherfucking rice and chicken backs. You heard? So, and these is facts. Know what I mean? But overall, money, like big money, being rich, having a bunch of money, that was always like a fantasy to me, or a myth. You feel what I'm saying? Or, you know, something that was in the movies and TV, and you see that shit in TV and Trading Places and Ricky Schroeder on Silver Spoons, and you know what I mean? And you know, Willis and Arnold, they got a bag and they was living around some money and came up on some money. All of that shit was a fantasy to me. the whole idea of having money and having big bread, that shit was TV show shit. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know, they say arrested development. You know, arrested development is kind of a broad term, but they say arrested development is like when, for an example, you seen poverty so much and you experience poverty so much that it unconditions your mind to be poor. You feel me? Like, you done accepted poverty as your fate because you done accepted poverty as your reality. You feel what I'm saying? So even when you get some money, you ain't really gonna feel right. I read this somewhere, and this was some deep shit. They said when you suffering from arrested development, from growing up in poverty and stuff like that, it said you'll get your hands on some bread and you'll feel uneasy with yourself until that bread is gone, bro. You feel me? Until you ain't even got no more of that bread, because deep down inside, we don't know what the fuck to do with money. A lot of us don't know what the fuck to do with money, and we don't even like the pressure of having money, because then everybody expects us to take care of them and hold them down and show love. And sometimes that pressure, see, it's different when you get your hands on some money and you grew up in a circle, in a society, in a community where everybody got bread. Nobody's really needing too much. But when you grow up in the ghetto, you get some bread, everybody around you needs some money too. You feel me? That shit different when you from the ghetto and your whole family is poor and grew up struggling or blue collar or, you know, paying bills check to check, and you come up on a couple of $1 million or a couple of $100,000, it be dumb pressure on a dude from the hood, because everybody's judging you. Everybody's waiting for you to forget where you came from and act funny with your money and not show no love. Everybody's anticipating that when you get some bread. You feel what I'm saying? And sometimes that pressure be so crazy, a dude be like, yo, you know what? I'll be glad when this money is gone, so I ain't got to worry about none of this shit. And I could proudly tell people, yo, I ain't got no more money, that shit gone. You feel what I'm saying? That shit is a crazy sickness and a disease of poverty that we got in our heads. You feel what I'm saying? And we must find ways to break these motherfucking shackles that's on us with money and all of that shit. Now, of course, like I said, some of us, you know, we was always good with money. Some dudes from the hood and grew up in the hood and poor, they just was always good with bread. They had a knack with bread and they knew what to do when they got some paper in their hands. And I always looked up to people like that. You feel me? Me personally, I'm the type of dude, when I get a nice big amount of money in my hands, you know, it's been times where I ain't know what to do with that bread. But I'm gonna tell you something. I never got bread in my hands and didn't make a power move. When I say a power move, I mean when I got my hands on 30, 40,000, I said, yo, I'm doing a video with Jadakiss. You feel me? And I'm gonna get that shit on the radio, TV, everything. And I made all of that shit happen. You heard? It was another time where I got my hands on some bread and I ain't have a studio, and I was a rapper and I got tired of begging everybody to get in their studio. I said, when I get some bread, I'm building a motherfucking recording studio in my crib where I can make thousands of songs. You feel what I'm saying? And that's what I did. So I'm the type of dude, when I get some money, before I fuck that bag up and that shit is gone, I'm gonna make a power move. I'm gonna invest that money into something that when the money is all gone, I still got something to show for it. A recording studio, a fucking legendary video with, you know what I'm saying, a nigga like Jadakiss, something that is gonna live forever and have a long lasting effect on my life. I always did that. I never got my hands on no major bread and didn't do that. You feel me? It's been times where I lit World Star up and paid World Star $5,000-$6,000. You feel what I'm saying? Just for a 2-3 month promo run or something like that. And that shit boosted my level of notoriety on the internet to a next level. You feel what I'm saying? So anytime I got my hands on some money, if I ain't do nothing else, I made a fucking power move with it, and I'ma always be that type of dude. You heard? But now I'm striving to be the type of dude that gets some money and be able to flip that shit 3 and 4 times. You feel me? Cause like once you get to my age, you don't give a fuck about too much. You heard? Yeah, you might still want to stay fresh and fly and have a nice car. But as far as me needing to impress anybody, I don't care about none of that. You heard? I need a house and a business that earns money and passive income. Damn, bro, I just stepped in crazy shit. Like, niggas, man, niggas gotta take their dog to some grass areas. Like, damn, bro, take your dog. When the last time your dog seen some grass? Like, niggas be walking their dogs on concrete for 10 years. Like, take that nigga to a park where you ain't gotta pick up shit. Take that nigga to some wilderness where you ain't gotta pick the shit up. You feel me? But anyway, yeah, man. Now check it. Like I said, I'm no innocent party. You heard? Because I've gotten my hands on money. Like I said, I never got my hands on money without making a power move. But I have got my hands on a flow of money and bought too many clothes, too many pairs of sneakers, to whereas afterwards I had to say to myself, like, you wilding with clothes, bro. You feel me? Like, you wilding with clothes and sneakers, bro. Now, I mean, I leased a luxury ass car that costs a lot of money. You feel what I'm saying? To pay for monthly and all of that. But I couldn't, at the time when I did it, I could afford it, and I still can afford it. But as you get older, you ask yourself, do I really need these things? You feel me? Like, some of us, yeah, you know, a lot of us, we grew up in the ghetto poor, where if you know, the ghetto is vicious, bro. Poverty has a lot of weird ways. Like, in the ghetto, bro, even though we the most poorest people in the world, dudes will laugh you out of school if you ain't got no name brand clothes. Like, let's keep this real. Growing up in the ghetto, if you ain't got no name brand clothes on, bro, niggas will laugh at you. You will be a laughing stock. You feel what I'm saying? Niggas will make fun of you and tease you for having rejects on your feet and no-name sneakers and cheap sneakers and Jordans that's not the right Jordans. And you feel me? Like, bro, it's vicious growing up in the ghetto. The judgment is out of control growing up in the ghetto. So a lot of us, we grew up in the type of households where either our parents wasn't into that material shit or we really couldn't afford it at all. And, you know, we had friends that was the flyest polo wearing, Nike wearing, motherfucking leather bomber wearing, motherfucking new Timbs, new Jordan, new sweatsuit wearing type of niggas. And some of us, you know, we got what we could get our hands on. We wasn't really super fly niggas, but we got what the fuck we could get our hands on and had a couple of good outfits and a couple of good pair of kicks and shit like that. You feel me? When I was living in Brownsville, you know what I mean? My garments was pretty decent. You feel me? By the time I was 14, 15, 16, not even 14, 15, 16, my garments was pretty decent. I had a bunch of name brand clothes and expensive shit. You feel me? And, you know, we grow up believing that shit is extremely important. But here go the science with that. We also grow up in a place where when you black and shit, like when you black and you come from the ghetto and shit like that, a lot of times, if you ain't fresh and crispy, motherfuckers think you a homeless nigga or think you a nigga stealing out the store. Like, if I was to just throw on my dirtiest pair of sweats, my dirtiest hoodie with holes in it and all of that, and I mean no name brand fly, just some dirty shit, and I walk up into a motherfucking Walgreens or a CVS, them niggas is watching the shit out of me, bro. Because when you black and you from the hood, you from the ghetto, black and Latino, you feel me? Motherfuckers think you stealing. Even when you fresh, niggas be thinking you stealing. So imagine if you looking bummy. You feel me? So some of us, when we do get our hands on some bread, the last thing we ever want to do is be bummy. You heard? The last thing we ever want to be is a nigga who ain't fresh. So a lot of times we get our hands on money and we spend most of that shit on clothes, bro, our wardrobe. And the fucked up thing about spending money on a bunch of clothes is eventually all those clothes get old. All those clothes become out of style, or most of them become out of style, or they get holes in them, or they fade, or they shrink. And now you like, yo, I spent thousands on this shit. You feel me? And look at the condition of this shit now. Like, you feel me? And you feel like you a fool for wasting all your hard-earned money on a bunch of clothes and sneakers and shit. You feel me? Like, it's a lot of shit, a lot of psychology, but it's a lot of psychology behind this hood niggas with money shit. You feel what I'm saying? Real talk, my nigga. I'ma keep it real with you. One time I got my hands on a little $40,000. Now at this time, $40,000, that's still a pretty decent penny. But at this time, $40,000 was a lot of bread. So, and I was chasing the music game drastically. I was chasing this shit. Like, I wanted to win with this shit. So when I got the bread, I was just plotting on something that I could do in the music business that could take me to the fucking roof. You feel me? And I had a lot of niggas in my circle and friends around, but when I got that money, I started developing like a low tolerance for nobody that wasn't trying to blow up in the rap game. You feel me? Who didn't see things my way. Like, the way I saw things was money talk, bullshit, run a marathon. We get enough money, we could do anything. You feel me? We could make moves. So when I got my hands on some bread and my other man had got his hands on some bread at the same time, you feel me? We was on some shit like, yo, fuck that. We ain't even trying to fuck with nobody who ain't trying to win with this rap shit right now. You feel me? So we kind of got low with that money. I'ma keep it real. We came around a team. We was always showing love when it comes to whatever, eating, smoking, whatever. But we was feeling ourselves with that bread, and we was feeling like, listen, man, if niggas ain't if niggas ain't trying to get themselves on TV or get on the radio right now, we don't got no time for niggas, my nigga. We trying to get on. Fuck that. Whatever money we get, we putting that shit to get on. You feel me? And those who ain't have nothing to contribute to that, producers we knew, other rappers that we knew, we was just low from them niggas. You feel what I'm saying? And it was the money. Niggas had some stacks. So them stacks made niggas look at other niggas that wasn't trying to do the same shit we was trying to do. We just ain't feel like being around a bunch of niggas, my nigga. You feel what I'm saying? And I knew from there that money, it ain't that niggas get it and act funny sometimes. It's that a nigga get money sometimes and it's game time. It's time to make shit happen. And you realize how many niggas that may be around you that's not really on those vibes. Like, they just living their life. They not really saying, yo, we gotta do it, we gotta get on. So it's like, you will fall back from some people when you get your hands on some major bread. You will fall back from people with a low drive. Like, dudes, when I had my hands on some money, dudes that had a low drive for success, I ain't really want to be around them. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I was turned off to those type of people. But that was like the first or second time I really got my hands on some decent money. Times after that, it's called getting used to money. Eventually, you will get used to getting your hands on some bread. And when you get used to getting your hands on some bread, it won't drive you crazy. It won't depress you, because money be stressing niggas out and all that. Like I said, niggas grow up around areas where a lot of people is poor that we know. And we can help them, and we know we can help them. But then you might go broke and be poor right along with them. So you be nervous. Because when you get your hands on some bread, if you got any sense, the last thing you want to do, like, I read about all of this shit. This shit is deep. Niggas said, when you poverty trained, every time you spend money, you worry. Like, you got 30,000, you be like, damn, I only got 25,000 now. Damn, I only got 20 now. And the worry of losing that money will begin to fuel that reality. And you will start losing that money at a faster pace because you are afraid, you are scared to lose that money. You feel me? And that fear starts fueling that reality. You like, damn, I'm down to 26, I'm down to 25. And then the next thing you know, you trying to buy a motherfucking 3-4 pounds of weed with your last $5,000 to try to make some money back. It's a vicious, dirty cycle when hood niggas get money. You feel what I'm saying? So, we gotta sit there and watch 100 fucking YouTube tutorials. We gotta really do research and know what we should be doing with this bread. Cause I know niggas that got hundreds of thousands of dollars. And when they got some bread, they made investments. But those investments didn't really turn out to make no major money for them. Niggas was basically breaking even, making a little bit of money, but niggas wasn't flipping their money and doubling their money. And that's some scary shit when you invested your money into something. Like I was watching that Andre Rison 30-30 special. And he was talking about how when NFL niggas and shit like that get money, like niggas be stalking you, my nigga. Niggas from Gucci and Louis Vuitton and all of these motherfucking designer clothes. Niggas said they will run down on you, Ferragamo. Like, yo, what's up? You an NFL player. You gonna have to go to motherfucking this event, that event. You gonna have to accept this award, that award. You gonna need your suits up. You don't want niggas thinking you an ignorant street nigga, right? You gonna have to get some suits. I tell you what, give me 40,000 and I'll give you this amount of suits, and you basically getting 4 free suits. And the nigga be like, damn, 4 free suits? Alright, fuck it, let's do it. Next thing you know, you done gave this motherfucker $40,000 out your money because you sitting on a milli. And then that nigga was like, when you broke, you be thinking about that shit like, did I really need 8 Ferragamo suits? Or was I good with 2 or 3? Like, what the fuck I bought 8 for? You feel me? You start seeing how recklessly you was spending money. When you got a whole bunch of money, you think that shit may last forever? I stepped in the shit again, my nigga. I stepped in the shit again. Fuck. But yeah, man, like I was saying, man, you get the money, you may think that shit gonna last forever. You like, fuck it, what's 30, what's 40, what's 20, yo, what you need? And next thing you know, bro, your ass in debt, you broke, you fucked up. You done fucked some money up. You done fucked the bag up. Some niggas done lost it all. I heard Fantasia the other day. She was on the radio show and somebody was like, well, Fantasia, you got more money than us. And she was like, you don't know that. She was like, shit, I lost everything twice. I'm just now starting to get back on my feet. She was like, but I lost everything twice. You feel what I'm saying? Shit is spooky, my nigga. It's spooky being from the hood and getting your hands on some money. You heard? And if there's other brothers out there that pick that when you do got some money, if there's brothers out there that tell you the correct things to do with your money, like I done read shit like Steve Stout and them niggas, I don't know how true it is, but Steve Stout and them niggas made that nigga Nas get a fucking apartment, or bought that nigga an apartment on Park Ave, or made him buy an apartment on Park Ave. Like, yo, nigga, this is an investment right here. New York real estate ain't gonna do nothing but go up and up. While you got some bread and you on top, do this, you feel me? So it's like, yo, other black motherfucking men with paper that reach out to try to help you organize your paper, keep your paper, flip your paper, man, them niggas is angels in disguise. You heard? Because it's a lot of motherfuckers that'll watch you lose your money, my nigga, and be hoping and praying and banking and betting that you gonna lose all your money and be broke again. You heard? And that's the worst feeling in the world, to be on your feet and get a bunch of money and then be broke again, back trying to get it up, and it seems like you ain't never gonna get that shit again. You feel what I'm saying? So you heard? We gotta do shit, man. We gotta make power moves with this fucking money and invest in shit that we know is gonna win. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the bottom line, bro. This YouTube shit, I'm gonna tell y'all niggas something about this YouTube shit. This YouTube shit is a fucking gold mine. Don't believe the hype with some of the shit you hear. You understand what I'm saying? I figured out YouTube. It took a long time for me to figure that shit out. But YouTube is a fucking gold mine, bro. And if niggas took their money and invested into this YouTube shit the correct way, there's millions to be made, and that's my word. But anyway, man, we gonna talk about this subject again. LAZ, I'm in Dykeman. You heard? Get at me.